Okay guys, in this video we're going to talk about everything that we know is going to happen in the third episode of Season 2 of House of the Dragon. And we know almost every event that's about to go down. Episode 3 will feature events such as Baela Targaryen chasing and almost killing Criston Cole with her dragon Moondancer, Daemon Targaryen conquering Harrenhal, Daemon taking Stone Hedge, the first battle of the Targaryen civil war in which Rhaenyra supporters the Blackwoods will fight Aegon supporters the Brackens, the Cargyll brothers' funeral at Dragonstone, green armies arriving at King's Landing, some of which are led by a new character, Ser Gwayne Hightower, Daemon's scenes with a witch Queen Alys Rivers, and finally Aegon, Aemond, Gwayne and Criston Cole starting their war, marching their armies out of King's Landing, going through the Crownlands and attacking houses that support Rhaenyra. Okay, let's first talk about how Baela will almost get Criston Cole with her dragon before he escapes at the last moment into the cover of the forest. At the beginning of episode 3, many soldiers will arrive at King's Landing, mainly those of House Hightower led by Gwayne Hightower. Ser Gwayne Hightower is an arrogant knight from Old Town, who is the son of Otto Hightower and Queen Alicent's brother. Soon after, it will be decided by King Aegon and his Hand of the King Criston that, and I quote Criston from the upcoming episode, "we cannot hide in our castle, waiting for word to come to us." To which Aegon will reply, "Good, to war then." Aemond will showcase his plan of how he intends to take the Crownlands around King's Landing, as well as how he plans to win the war, saying dragons will not win this war alone, but combined with our armies they will fly behind our army and protect it. Aemond will also say to Criston Cole something about Daemon, quote, "My uncle is a challenge I welcome if he dares face me." Criston Cole will say farewell to Alicent, and together with Alicent's brother Gwayne, Criston will march their army out of King's Landing and lead them towards houses sworn to Rhaenyra in order to make them bend the knee to King Aegon, or lose their heads. The Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, a newly appointed Hand of the King to Aegon II Targaryen Criston Cole, will be marching to Duskendale and Rook's Rest, and it's he who will set a trap for Rhaenys and her dragon in episode 4. But before that happens, Criston will first take Duskendale in episode 3. Lord Rosby and Lord Stokeworth will also add their strength to the Green Host, and the army will reach slightly under 3,000 men in strength by the time they reach their target. Duskendale will be caught completely by surprise and unprepared, and will quickly fall to Aegon's forces, followed by Criston executing its lord. Criston will escape his death by only a couple of moments as Baela, Daemon's daughter, will almost catch him with her dragon. For free, you can now listen to the entire audiobook Fire and Blood, on which House of the Dragon is based and which covers the entire Targaryen history, including current and future events of House of the Dragon, for free with a notable trial using our link in the description. Baela was sent by Queen Rhaenyra to patrol the sky around King's Landing on her dragon Moondancer and to spy on the Green's movements, and she will see an army marching out of King's Landing. Baela then decides to follow Criston's army from high above in the sky to see where they are going, and then she sees an opportunity to kill Criston, so she goes for it. Baela chases Ser Criston Cole with her dragon while he rides his horse as fast as possible, trying to reach the cover of the trees before she gets him. Baela almost gets him, but Criston just makes it at the last moment to the woods. Baela will then fly her dragon back to Dragonstone to report to Rhaenyra that the Green Army is moving towards Rook's Rest, and conquering castles that are on her side one by one. Meanwhile at Dragonstone, Rhaenyra and the Blacks are having a funeral for the Cargyll brothers, burying them together since the twins always used to say how they were two bodies with one soul. During the funeral, Rhaenys tells Rhaenyra, and I quote, "Soon they will not even remember what it was that began the war in the first place. When the desire to kill and burn takes hold, reason is forgotten. There is no war so hateful to the gods as a war between kin, and no war so bloody as the war between dragons." By the way, in episode 3, Rhaenyra is wearing the same clothes and the same hairstyle as the legendary Queen Visenya, and even wields a sword for a couple of moments. All of which is inspired by Rhaenyra reading a book about the warrior Queen Visenya in episode 2. On this page you can see the exact same clothes, hairstyle and wielding of a sword by Visenya that Rhaenyra will showcase in episode 3. Rhaenyra will say to Rhaenys, "The enemy usurped my throne." Let's now talk about Daemon Targaryen and his conquest that he's going to have in episode 3. Daemon will conquer the castles of Harrenhal and Stone Hedge for Rhaenyra. Daemon will conquer Harrenhal for Rhaenyra at night during a thunderstorm, with only his dragon Caraxes. Daemon mentioned in Season 1 that the Riverlands are key in this war, and that Harrenhal is the key to the Riverlands, something the Greens also figured out in the Season 2 premiere. Harrenhal is seen as a rallying point for supporters in the Riverlands. The experienced Daemon will capture Harrenhal from its castle and Sir Simon Strong without conflict. by landing Caraxes on top of King's Spire Tower where Harren the Black had died. Recalling the burning of Harrenhal by Aegon the Conqueror and Balerion, Simon Strong will decide to strike his banners and surrender the Great Ruined Castle to Daemon. Simon Strong is a new character and he is the great uncle to Lord Larys and Castellan of Harrenhal. Daemon's victory will allow the Riverlands to rise up in support of Rhaenyra. Later when he speaks to Simon Strong and other people inside the castle, and as we could hear in promos, Daemon will say, "I did not think they would be so eager to die," and add to it, perhaps the presence of the dragon will sharpen minds around these parts. Daemon will stay at Harrenhal for most of Season 2 and will confront a few houses in the Riverlands with Caraxes, such as the Brackens. During his stay at Harrenhal, Daemon will also meet Alys Rivers, a new character who's a healer working in the service of House Strong, and also a bastard born from that house. After conquering Harrenhal in episode 3, Daemon will also conquer Stone Hedge, the seat of House Bracken and the last supporters of the Greens in the Riverlands. But Daemon is not the only one who will see war in this episode. Rhaenyra supporters House Blackwood will fight in the first battle of the Targaryen civil war between opposing armies in the field, the Battle of the Burning Mill. House Blackwood declared for Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen when the war broke out, while their rivals House Bracken supported King Aegon II Targaryen. In episode 3, Lord Samuel Blackwood will send raiders into Bracken lands, so Lord Humphrey Bracken will send his son Sir Amos Bracken to retaliate with a strong force. The Blackwoods will surprise Brackens while they are camped by a mill near a river. Amos will kill Lord Blackwood in single combat during the ensuing battle. The Bracken Knight will himself be slain by a veered arrow that will likely be fired by Samuel's sister Alicent Blackwood, future wife of Lord Cragan Stark known as Black Ally, an excellent archer who will see more fights for Queen Rhaenyra. The mill will be put to the torch during the hours of fighting. Sir Alys Rivers will eventually lead the Bracken survivors in retreat to the seat of House Bracken, Stone Hedge. They will return to Stone Hedge only to find that it's been captured in their absence. Prince Daemon Targaryen, riding his dragon Caraxes, will lead a strong host of Daenerys Frey's pipers and routes to the Bracken's castle and take it. Brackens have been captured by Daemon, and when Rhaelyn returns to Stone Hedge with the remaining soldiers loyal to Aegon, they as well will yield to Daemon, ending any green strength in the Riverlands. Daemon sitting on top of Caraxes will tell them, "Our terms are very simple. Renounce the false king and bend the knee to the queen or your house burns." They will bend the knee. We will also have quite a few scenes of Daemon with Alys Rivers, a healer of Harrenhal and a bastard daughter of House Strong, who is known as the Witch Queen. Daemon conquered Harrenhal in episode 2 from Simon Strong with only his dragon Caraxes, and Daemon will stay at Harrenhal, rallying the forces for Queen Rhaenyra until the last episode of Season 2, and we will have quite a few scenes between him and Alys Rivers. Alys can see visions of the future and she can make people see visions, which is why she is called a Witch Queen. Alys can see visions in storm clouds, pools of water and flames. She is rumored to regularly bathe in maiden's blood to remain youthful, with many characters claiming she is generations older than what she appears to be. Future lover of Aemond Targaryen Alys will spend quite some time with Daemon and the two will have quite a few intriguing scenes together. In episode 3, Alys will make Daemon see some strange visions. One of the visions shows Daemon entering the throne room and looking at the Iron Throne. Alys will also mock Daemon for being subordinate to his niece and wife Rhaenyra, as she knows this is his weakness. At Dragonstone, Rhaenyra will have a scene with Mysaria, who saved her life in episode 2. In episode 2, Rhaenyra let Mysaria go, but on her way to the ship, Mysaria saw Ser Auric. It was Mysaria who rushed to the castle and told Ser Eric that she saw his twin brother Auric arrive and walk into the castle, and there could be only one purpose for it: to kill Rhaenyra. That's how Eric knew his brother was at Rhaenyra's chambers, and that's how he prevented his brother from killing the queen. Anyways, in episode 3, Rhaenyra and Mysaria will have a conversation that will lead Mysaria to stay on Rhaenyra's side and be her mistress of whispers. Mysaria will tell Rhaenyra, I quote, "There is more than one way to fight a war." It will later be Mysaria's plan to send a good friend of Rhaenyra to King's Landing, the one we saw in the trailer with a red hood, to mess with King's Landing food supplies and to cause a riot among the small folk. The last thing we know about the episode 3 is that Aegon will go to the inn with the gold cloaks. There we'll see more of a new character, Ulf, who is in the same scene. Ulf is a bastard with Targaryen blood in his veins, and in the future he will be a dragon rider just like Hugh, the character we already saw in episodes 1 and 2. In episode 3, Ulf is at the same place Aegon is, and they're both drinking, but the two characters do not interact with each other. Ulf will drunkenly brag about being a Targaryen bastard on the other side of the inn. And that's how episode 3 will look. That's a complete preview for episode 3, a breakdown of the next episode of House of the Dragon. Please let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more videos. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.